Hello and welcome to another daily devotion as we connect to one another virtually each day. Today we are in week 4 of Jesus' parables, and today I've got a tough one for you. So Jesus is again talking to the Pharisees, the chief priests, and the elders, the leadership of the people of Israel who are supposed to be teaching the people of Israel. And this is the third parable, which is found in all 3 synoptic gospels, where he's giving them a warning. He says, listen, a king decides he's going to build a vineyard, and he's going to invite he's going to have some tenants who want to work it. And the tenant says, we'll work for you, and they have an agreeable thing where they're going to pay him a percentage of the produce, and they'll live off the vineyard, and they'll get the rest. Great, all right. But when the king or the landowner sends his first servant to collect what they agreed on, they beat him up, send him away. Get out of here. Leave. We're not paying you. Next one comes, same thing. Beat him up. Tell the boss, the owner, he's not around. We're not paying you. We're just taking all this for ourselves. Third one, fourth one, they kill a few of them. And you think, what kind of landowner is this? I mean, put all this money in the vineyard. He's got a fence. He's got a wine press. He's got a tower. These tenants presumably did some background checks. But now they start to beat his servants, so he sends more servants? I mean, wouldn't after the first beating, wouldn't you go, call the local cops, go to their door, hey, you guys, we're going to file a complaint on you, you're going to press charges. No, he lets it go. I'm going to send another one. Wishful thinking. Is he just so naive? Or is it just, hopefulness? He sends a third and they kill the guy and he's still sending people. Finally, this owner of the vineyard says, I know what I'll do. I'll send my only child, my son. Surely they'll listen to him. Don't call me Shirley. And they send the son and they say, this is the part of the parable that I always get confused about. They say, let's kill the heir and then we'll take the land. You say, are you kidding me? Like in our world, if they killed somebody, they murdered the son, I mean, they'd go to court, they'd be serving life in prison, right? What kind of plan is this? Unless ownership, possession, or the occupation of the land. They're squatters, but they've lived here. The owner's far off. The owner's not present. And so if we've lived here long enough and there's nobody left to inherit it, this land will be ours. That's what they're thinking. We're here. There's nobody left to come after. And so Jesus is talking to the priests and the elders. And before, most of us jump to, the king is God, the son is Jesus. Yes, there's some of that, but there's some problems there. Is God absent from the life of humanity? Is God so naive that God just keeps sending, as people like to say, keeps sending servants again and again? And just, is it an abusive kind of relationship? God's people abusing God all the time? Or is it, as I often like to think of it, that God is so passionate, so deeply involved in wanting to have a relationship with God's children. Just like you or I as a parent, if you have kids, your kids might have done something so terrible, disappointed you, hurt your feelings, said, I hate you, slammed the door in your face. But you say, I still love you. You're still my son. You're still my daughter. I'm not going to stop loving you. You can spit on me. You can tell me you hate me. You can trash the car. You can go off with your friends and do something horrible. But in the end of the day, you're my kid. And I love you. I might not be happy with what you did. I might be hurt by your actions, but I love you. And I'm not going to quit. Even if you turn your back on me. Even if you say, the heck with you, I'm done with you. I still love you. Now, if that's the image of the landowner and the parallel to God, it's where Jesus goes. You've taken the stone that the builders rejected, the very capstone. It's a play on the words in Aramaic. Son is Ben, stone is Eben. You've taken the son, cast him out. You've taken the stone and cast it out. And this is what God is building on. You've taken the love of God and destroyed it. And saying, we are the leaders. We understand how faith works. Just Jesus' character doesn't. It's ours. Don't mess with us. Don't tread on me. I'll destroy you. And they kill him. Jesus saying the kingdom of God, the responsibility that God has given to you as leaders of the people of Israel, as shepherds of the sheep, is going to be taken away and given to somebody else. And the town burning, well, the Romans were coming just a couple decades later, and guess what? Israel's burned to the ground. The temple's destroyed, burned to the ground. Is there some foreshadowing in this parable? Is there some pleading with Jesus? Hey, I'm trying to reach you guys. You're the leaders of Israel. If anybody should know this stuff, you should. Why can't you see it? And instead of listening, they destroy him. A tough parable for those who just won't listen, just won't see, even if one is resurrected before their very eyes. I hope we're not so blind.